What's going on, guys? Welcome to this week's episode of Ask Mish. This week is my birthday week. I love my birthday because it's a great birthday. It's July 5th. It's the day after 4th of July. So usually it's a holiday and everyone's looking to do something anyway. So it's not hard, even at my random age, which is not a significant age that I'm turning at all. But it's very easy to get people to go out and celebrate with you because they want to go out and celebrate anyway. And this year I've actually done this the past 3 years. It's my ideal birthday. We actually go down to Atlantic City because it's an easy place for us to go. And we usually go to a day party at HQ. This year we're seeing two friends, which is a DJ if you're not familiar. If you ever need really good workout music, Two Friends, Big Booty Mixes, the best music to work out to. But you guys know me, I love DJs, I love EDM, I love being outside, I love the pool, I love summer. So it's actually my ideal birthday situation. And I'm very excited that we're seeing Two Friends because if you're in the EDM community and you live in the New York area, you know that Brooklyn Mirage ruined summer. So we were supposed to see Two Friends at Brooklyn Mirage, which obviously didn't happen, but we're going to be seeing them in Atlantic City for my birthdays. I'm very grateful also for the fact that I'm not young in a sense where I'm not in my 20s where most people party and do those things, but I still love it. It's just who I am. I'm very unapologetic about it. I'm very lucky because somehow I've found friends that are also around my age and even older who also really love it and enjoy doing it with me. That's very unique, especially in my age, because I'm in my mid 30s, me 37. And a lot of my friends have had babies and whatever, and they're not, a lot of them can't do those things or don't like those things or have outgrown those things. But I feel so blessed that I do have a core group that still enjoys doing that with me. And when I was reflecting on it, I realized it's a little bit by design because if I reflect back on the past 2 years, I went through what I think so many people go through, and I don't think we talk about it enough. And I know for a fact people think this because I hear people talk about it with me in sessions where people just get to a certain age and they just feel stuck. They're like, wait, this is it? This is what it's supposed to be? Now, I didn't really feel this until my mid 30s, but when I felt it, it hit me like a ton of bricks. My 20s were great. I was building my company. I was in a great relationship. I got engaged, when I was 28 and didn't get married till 33 because of COVID and all that. But I was just always building something. I was always there was always a next thing. There was always something that was I was working towards. That always felt so good to me. And then after I got married in my mid 30s, all of a sudden, I just remember feeling stuck. I remember just almost living in Groundhog's Day. I was everything was fine. My business was fine. It was making enough money. I had enough clients. My relationship was good. But I just remember feeling wait, this is it. And then I also remember thinking, I bet you a lot of people feel this way. And I bet you this is why a lot of people have kids, because it's oh, well, this is the next thing to give me purpose. But the idea of having kids at that time didn't feel like the right move to me. But I remember feeling so stuck. And I didn't know if it was normal. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to talk to about it. It wasn't bad. It was good. I couldn't point to something and being this is the problem or this is bad. Life just lost its luster for me. I don't know why this sticks out in my brain, but I remember on my 35th birthday, we were out somewhere and they brought out a cake something, and there was a candle on it. And when I blew out the candle, I remember specifically asking for clarity in my personal life. And the second I did that entire year, my whole personal life blew up. But the clarity that I wished for, I got. But before it looked like clarity, it looked like absolute fucking chaos. There's this TikTok that I send my clients sometimes that I love. It's however, and again, whatever level of spiritual, whatever you want to believe in, but this is actually how I experienced this, a version of this. So there was this girl that was saying to the universe or to whoever, she's like, hey, I want to be a millionaire. And the universe is like, okay, we will make you a millionaire. By the way, you're going to get fired from your job tomorrow. And she's like, wait, no, I can get fired from my job tomorrow. And the universe is like, but you want to be a millionaire, right? And she's like, right. So how will getting me fired from my job tomorrow get me close to being a millionaire? And then the universe is like, your current job is never going to make you a millionaire. So if you want to become a millionaire, you're going to have to leave your current job. You're going to have to be fired from your current job. in order to get the job or have the opportunity that's going to actually make you a millionaire. But again, when we're experiencing this, we don't have a conversation with the universe. We're just kind of throwing it out there, what we want, and then the chaos kind of ensues, and it just feels scary. Everything you want is on the other side of that chaos. All that clarity that you want is on the other side of the chaos. But the chaos feels so unbearable and so scary and so uncertain sometimes that I'm sure when a lot of people get close to feeling it, it's almost biological to retreat. But I can confidently say that what you might be experiencing as chaos, what might you be experiencing as unsafe, what you might be experiencing is like your whole life falling apart in a big goddamn dumpster fire. What that actually is, it's everything that's not in alignment with the thing that you want sort of like falling away. And it feels like absolute shit. But what it does is it creates space for the things that you do want in your life. Just like in that TikTok video, the universe said to the girl, well, this job is not going to ever make you a millionaire. So like, you're going to have to get fired. And you're going to have to deal with that. The first time I remember experiencing this, and maybe this experience was what allowed me to push through when it was like a lot more at stake. But my very first job that I had in college, out of college, was I designed a nutrition program for this gym that I worked at the time. Now, once I graduated school, my student loans kicked in. It was the recession. Like, I was not making enough money to pay my bills. Like, the math just wasn't mathing. So what I did was I decided to start seeing some clients on the side to make extra money because my job told me that they couldn't pay me anymore. When they got wind of this, eventually, they told me I had to either stop seeing clients on the side or they were going to fire me. No, I didn't really think they were going to fire me, but at the same time, I had these like great aspirations for myself where like I wanted to make a lot of money. I wanted to be really successful, blah, blah, blah. I never would have quit this job ever. There's no way I would have quit this job. Just the loyalty that I felt to them, my clients, there's no way I would have done it. But when they hit me with that ultimatum, I also realized I was like, I designed this nutrition program. I'm the only one doing nutrition for all of your clients, like at the gym. There's no way you're going to fire me. So I called their bluff. I said, look, I'm not making enough to pay my bills. You guys can't pay me more. I'm going to keep seeing clients on the side. And that's that. So they were like, okay, cool, you're fired. And I was like, oh. And that felt like my whole life was crumbling apart. Now, at that point, I could have done two things. My nervous system, everything in my fucking body wanted to be like, go back, tell them you're just going to not see clients anymore. Go back to what's safe, go back to what's safe, go back to what's safe. This is unsafe. Like my body, I remember my body physically screaming at me. I remember sitting in the living room on my IKEA couch that my friend Sarah and I like bought together with our last couple of dollars in our shitty apartment. And I just remember being like, you should just go back. But then another voice was like, what if you don't go back? What if you just call your old clients and right now you have 5 or 6 of them? How many clients would you actually need? It wasn't that much. And I was like, okay, maybe I could push through this. Now, my nervous system was doing a tug of war, but I was brave and I don't know what gave me the courage to do it. But I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to figure this out. So instead of doing what my nervous system wanted to do at that time, which was go back to what I knew, I was like, all right, let me start seeing let me try to get more clients on my own. So I called all my old clients that I had. I told them I was going back on my own. And then this was a little bit before like the internet. So it wasn't for the internet, before people did like coaching on the internet. So I needed a physical location. And so luckily at that point, I ran into a guy who happened to own a gym and he had a ladies locker room. And I was like, hey, can I see your clients for a couple days a week for free in exchange for using your ladies locker room a couple days a week? And he's like, yeah, that's weird, but sure. And then eventually he ended up building me an office. Like I never would have that opportunity just came to me the second that I made that decision. And then I was like, okay, but I don't know how to get more clients. Like I don't have any money to advertise. At the time, Groupon was like brand new. It was like a daily deal site, but it was like free advertising. Now, like you gave them a big cut. First of all, you had to discount your prices a lot. And then you had to give them half of what you already discounted it. But like I didn't have any established prices. So I tried to do the math to make it so that I could get a good amount for myself. And I called them and they were like, yeah, no, nutrition is too niche. At the time, they didn't have any nutritionists on their site. So their competitors, Living Social, I was like, oh, well, Living Social, your competitors, they've already approved us for it, but I like Groupon better. I'd rather go with you guys, but if not, I'll just go with Living Social. And for some reason, they were like, okay, fine, we'll go with you. We were actually the first nutrition counseling company on Groupon at the time, and we ended up selling like hundreds our first week. never would have happened if I didn't push through the chaos. Never would have happened if I didn't push through that fear. Never would have happened if I did what my nervous system was screaming at me to do and stayed safe. But at the time, it didn't feel so good. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. At the time, it didn't feel so good. But I knew what I wanted, and it felt like my whole life was falling apart. It felt like a dumpster fire. But on the other side of making that decision for myself, and on the other side of that chaos came that clarity that I was looking for at the time. And perhaps I remembered this when I was like in my 30s and feeling the same kind of like just like unsettling feeling. Now, this one was a little bit different though, because that one was very jarring. That one was very like, okay, you're fired. Like I had to react to it, right? This was almost a little worse in a different way because like nothing was outwardly wrong. Like everything was fine, but it just didn't feel good anymore. Like I just now the simplest way I could put it is we just grew apart. I have had an amazing like husband. He's a phenomenal human being, phenomenal. Like, you will never catch me saying a bad thing about him, but we just grew apart. We were together since we were 23. I was not the same person, in my mid 30s, and it was my fault. It just was what it was. And it was the hardest decision I've ever made in my life to decide that that was not what I wanted. And do I wish I did a million things differently? Yes. Do I wish I realized it sooner? Yes. Do I wish the whole thing could have like gone down differently? Fuck yes, 100%. However, I could see a version of myself because it wasn't that bad that just would have stayed, and it would have been fine. And we would have lived a fine life. It would have been fine. But it wasn't what I felt like I needed and I wanted. And I did the really hard thing, and I got the divorce. And I, especially I only was married for a year and a half at that. Everyone thought I was out of my freaking mind. And I thought I was out of my mind. And it felt so chaotic. That year was the most chaotic. Like it felt like the tension, like it was terrible. And as terrible as it for me, I know it was more terrible. The whole thing was terrible. But once the dust settled, I remember talking to my therapist at the time, which I struggle with therapists. I have yet to find a therapist that could help me. Therapists are hard for me. But I remember my therapist at the time asking me, well, what is it that you want in a guy? And I rattled off this insane list of things. Like I was like, I want somebody older than me. I want someone who's an entrepreneur who like understands the entrepreneur life. I want someone who likes to party. I want someone who likes EDM. I want someone who like makes me better. I want someone who could teach me things. I want someone that could take care of me. I want someone that makes me feel like safe. Like I want like I rattled off the list of things. And my therapist turns around to me and she's like, She's like, quick question. Do you have any friends who are dating right now? And I said, yes, I do. And she's like, tell me their experience. I was like, not well. Their experiences are not going well. They're not great. She's like, I don't know if what you're looking for is out there. She literally said that to me. And then days later, like somebody who is in my life already, just was like, oh, that guy. Like he was already in my life. I just didn't see him that way until the dust had settled and everything was like, but once I created that space in my life, I literally got what I was looking for. And I would be careful with how I say this, but at that time, the relationship that I had was the perfect relationship for my 20s and early 30s. The person who I became, it wasn't the right fit for. And like I said, making that decision and going through the chaos, like feels like your whole life's fault. Like literally feels like a goddamn fucking dumpster fire. But then on the other side of that dumpster fire, I had somebody that just makes me into the best possible version of myself that I've ever been. And I could gush about that forever, and I won't. But I will just let you know that like once I created the space in my life, pushed through the chaos, even though everything in my nervous system was like, don't fucking do this, you're making a mistake. But I got what I needed. I got what I asked for. I got rewarded for it. So now it's my 36th birthday last year. And that feeling again, I'm starting to feel the same feeling that I was feeling in my personal life, that just like unsettledness, that unfulfillment. Now I'm starting to feel it in my professional life. And I'm like, what the fuck? My professional life's always been fine. Like, why this? Why? Like, what? Why? So I was like, so I consciously remember doing this. We were in Atlantic City. Somebody brought a birthday thing, and I was like, okay, I wish for clarity in my business life. So I can't talk about my professional life with the same clarity that I could talk about my personal life because it hasn't quite gelled together yet. And also legally, I'm not allowed to yet. But what I will say is, remember what I said before, when you want something, whatever that's not aligned for you is going to start to fall away, and that's going to feel like chaos, and that's when a lot of people run, and that's what makes a lot of people freeze and stop. The level that I felt it in my personal life could not compare to what was going on in my professional life. This past year has paralyzed me in terms of what has fallen away. And you have to remember, at the time, I'm not processing it like I made a wish on my birthday to have clarity in my business life. So everything that's not in line with where I'm supposed to be in my business life is going to fall away. Like I'm not processing it like that. I'm just like, what the actual fuck is going on? I got betrayed by someone extremely close to me. The level of damage it caused was actual as well as emotional, and it was paralyzing to me. But what I realized though is in my professional life, I was very reliant on outside opinions for things. And what this situation made me do is it made me listen to my inner voice, and it made me so strong as an entrepreneur, a level that I wouldn't have gotten to without this experience. I don't have complete clarity on what's gonna happen, but what I will say is I can handle it so much better than I could have a year ago, and I am so fucking grateful for that. And I'm so grateful that I saw this person's true colors, because I would not have been able to get to the level of whatever I'm gonna get to with this kind of energy around me. So it's a little tough for me with this one because I'm still in the middle of it, but I think that's kind of beautiful that I'm still in the middle of it, because most people just tell you like the end of the story, like, oh, and they lived happily ever after. This is like why I also hate before and after photos, because you see a before, you see an after, like, okay, well, what the hell happened in between? So I actually have a before and after photo on one side. I'm fucking smack dab in the middle on the other one. But when I look at it with that same pattern of, okay, I want this thing. I'm just trusting that these things are falling away. I'm in the middle of the chaos. I'm not running away. I'm just letting it happen. And I know it's going to be okay, and I know I'm a stronger person for it. So if this resonates with you at all and you are going through a shift in your life in any way, shape, or form, here are my like 3 quick little pieces of advice. Number 1, when you decide you want something, it's all happening for you, not to you. I believe that with every ounce of my being. What you're experiencing is not rejection. It's everything that's not in line with the thing that you asked for. And once the dust settles, you're going to understand why, but it's going to feel like chaos. Everything you want is on the other side of that chaos. Number 2, your brain is wired for survival. It's going to freak out. Like, have good friends, have people around you that can help you when those moments get really tough, because they're going to. And if you can sort of intellectualize that this is just your nervous system trying to keep you safe, you'll be okay. But get someone that could help you. And number 3, if you can, try to enjoy the journey. Try to be grateful. If you watch me on my Instagram stories, you'll see like people comment all the time. They're like, you look like you're living your best life. I have been living my best life. Even though there's been fucking chaos going on in the background the whole time, I've been able to navigate it because I'm really just enjoying the journey, and I've really been grateful. And I find that the more I focus on those things and the more I justify the things that are kind of crazy right now as necessary hurdles to get me to the point that I'm trying to get to, the easier it is to navigate. So if you're afraid of those things that you want, or you take a little step and then it starts to feel uncomfortable, or the things that you loved or you thought that you need, they fall away from you, just keep pushing through. Because as scary as it is, everything you want is on the other side of that chaos. And also, like, how boring is life without a little bit of chaos? So I hope this helps you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys have a very happy 4th of July, and I will see you guys next Thursday.